This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now the previous session we discussed about atom queues and document tracking, how we can track the documents and how we can create the custom libraries and all, right? So now we'll discuss about API. What do you mean by API? Application
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 programming
programming
program
language
interface,
interface.
interface.
right? So I give basic introduction how we can expose the APIs and how we can consume the APIs, right? So for example, I given an I given an example, right? Like let's say TCS is the company. So there some 100 employees are relieved from TCS, and these 100 employees are joined in a different companies. Let's say some are joined in Infosys, some are joined in some IBM, right? Some are joined in Birla Soft. Okay, some are joined in Birla Soft, and some are joined in some Google. Okay, so like they are joined, and they are for that. Okay, now Infosys needs to do the BGV, like background check for this 100 employees whoever joined. Let's say whoever joined out of this 100 employees, whoever joined in Infosys, they need to do the background check. And for example, IBM is also there, they need to do an background check, Birla Soft and Google. So they need to do the background check for these employees whoever joined in their respective companies. So now each and like for example, TCS is there, they will not give the response for each and every employee, right? What they will do, they will they will maintain one database or one place, one server. Okay, in that server they will maintain all the details, like employee ID, employee name, okay, that particular employee's designation, and from start date and end date. Okay, what is the duration of this employment, all these details they will maintain, right? So for example, okay, 101 employees there. Okay, now this employee is joined okay, in designation is some software engineer. Okay, software engineer, right? Software engineer, and he joined in TCS around, let's say, uh, Jan 1st. Okay, in 2020 he joined. Okay, and he relieved. Okay, he relieved, let's say 31st. Okay, some June. Okay, in the 2024. Okay, so now this is the duration he served for TCS. All right, and if he joined in Infosys, if he joined in Infosys, so now is the client now is requesting, let's say Infosys is the client. Okay, now is the client and he is the service provider. Okay, now, okay, whenever, and one more important note here, whenever you are working in the I sorry, whenever you are working in the APIs, so first you need to focus on two terms. One is a client or service request. Okay, service request. Okay, service request. Okay, service request or service consumer. I can say service consumer. Second one is service provider. Okay, service provider. So whenever you are working in the APIs, okay, these two terms you need to focus. Okay, one is a service consumer and service provider. So who is service consumer here? Okay, who is service consumer? Whoever requesting something to, okay, that person we will call it as a service consumer. And whoever getting the result, okay, who are getting the result from this, okay, and whoever providing the result, then we will call it them as a service provider. So now here one service request is there, or service consumer is there, it is requesting something, and to that request, okay, service provider will give some response back. Okay, so now let's say we will do this kind of, TCS is there, TCS is maintaining all the details in the database. Let's say these they are maintaining in database. So now I want to send a request. Okay, I need to send a request to this database. Okay, according to my employee id. Okay, according to my employee id or according to my request, I will get some response, like these are all the response, like this is the employee id, designation. Okay, designation. Okay, and the name also, even let's say his name also, I can say name also. Okay, all I need to get all these details as a response. As a response, I need to get all these details. Okay, so now how we can hit this request, and according to that hit, how we can get response, we will see. Okay, in a Boomi perspective, how we can give that details, and how we can get those details, now we can see. So okay, so for that, this is a database, right? We'll create one database. Okay, before we will create one database, and we will maintain details. Like TCS is a service provider, right? So they are maintaining all the employees data in their database. So for that, think that we are the TCS. Okay, I am giving some service, I'm providing some service to the other end users. Okay, so now think that, okay, now we are using SQL command. Okay, we will create one database with the database employees data. Okay, let me connect. You are getting my point, right? Now
Yes.
database created. So now
Yes.
we'll create one database. Create table name API. Create table name is API API emp data. I will give API emp data. Okay, so now tell me, what is the command for creating the table? Yes, name
Name
varchar
Varka 2.
2, give some length, right? Then
Yes.
employee ID
Wait,
varchar 2,
Varka 2.
right?
Yes.
Varchar 2, then give the some length, and you can give the location, right?
Varka
Location
2.
varchar
Varka
2, give some length, field length. Then what else we need? Name, employee ID, location, and what else we need?
7.
Yes, let's say I need start date, right? Start date
Started.
varchar 2, varchar 2, give some length, and end date. Okay, these are all details I need. Varchar 2, right? Now think that, okay, now let me create a table. Okay, missing right parenthesis where it is saying. Okay, here it is. That's fine. Varchar 2. Okay, now table is created, right? Select, right, star from table name API emp data.
EMP data.
Okay, yes, emp data or employee data, right? Now no rows are created. Description, check the description. Okay,
Filling
yes, now let me de, yes it is, right? Now you can see here, name, employee ID, location, start date, and end date. So these are all the rows are created, right? These are columns are created now. So now, okay, so now insert, we will do insert, right? So for that, we need some employees data, right? Yes or no? What I will do, I will insert some data. Okay, so for that, already I have a, okay, manually we need to do. Instead of manual, what I will do, I will create one process, quickly I will insert the data into my database. Okay, So here API, right? I will create a new process. Okay, create, and let me create a no data. So what I'm doing, I'm no, inserting the data. Okay, I have employee data. Hmm, that's fine. Okay, quickly I will take a one disk, or else a message shape. I will take a message shape, and I have a employee data handy. So it is my employee data, employee data, employee data. Okay, let me open my uh, or nine. Okay, this is my employee data, right? Let me open with notepad. Okay, this is the data I have. Okay, okay. Last name, salary, location, organization, name, location, salary, organization. Okay, that's fine. I need some of the more details, and that's fine. Okay, what I will do, I will put this in the message. Okay, so now this is my employee, under employee, employee ID, name, salary, location we are getting, and organization. Okay, let me add. Okay, let me add. Okay, that's fine. These are all enough. Then take a map, convert it. Before that, what we need to do, which shape I need to take? Database, right? Let me take a
Yes.
connector, database. You are getting or not? What exactly we are doing? Okay,
Yes.
let
Yes.
me connect to this database connection. I'm reusing my connection, and I will create a send. Then I will create a operation, right? Click on profile, click on statement, do dynamic insert or whatever you feel that. Okay, click on what happened. What is my, where is my atom? Let me check my atom status. What is not showing? It is in offline. Issue. Okay, let me restart it. It is why it is showing in offline. Let me do restart. Okay, services. Let me open the services. Mhm. What happened? Okay. Information. What happened? It is showing offline. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, now it is running. Okay. Okay, let me select meanwhile. Select atom. Okay, before that, what I will do? Okay, let me create so one more folder or else one more component. Okay, new component, create process. Okay, so now whenever you are getting some request, you want, okay, you need to pass some request. According to that, if you want to if you want to get some response back to you, then we need to go with the listener process. Okay, listener process. So how we can build this listener process? Okay, to build this listener process, what are the connector available in Boomi? Now we can see. So whenever you are getting, you are hitting your request, and according to that request you are getting some response, you will go with the listener process. So basically we'll go with the web services. Okay, so now see here. Okay, for example, you are getting, you are giving some web service here. No, basically I will give you a real time example. Okay, for example, here using your internet banking. So what you will do, you will log in into web, and you will give this some your details, and you will get some response back to you, right? According to your request, you will get some response back. So over the internet you are doing some transactions, right? Over the internet you are doing some transactions. That is nothing but a API. For example, WhatsApp is there. Okay, you are doing some chat, right, with your friend. So over the web you are doing some chatting with your friend, right? Over the web. Over the web means internet. Over the internet you are doing some change, like transactions. Those, that is nothing but API. So for that we have one connector called web services server. Okay, web service server, WSS. Okay, so now come here, you can see, and select the connector. So we have a web service. Okay, web service server, web services server, web service soap client, and HTTP client. So we basically will go with a web service server. Okay, web service server. Click on web service server. Okay, now you can see here. Yesterday I told you that web service listener process, web service server. Whenever you are going with the web service servers, so the connection part will take care of the atom. Okay, atom. How we know it is going to be, how it is going to be managed, I will see, I will show you. So before that now, so whenever you are passing any request, okay, how, no, you will enter some URL, and according to that URL you will get username, password, right? You will add username and password. According to your request you will log in into portal, and you will do whatever you work, right? Whatever of the work you want to do, you will work, right? So basically how the URL will looks like. URL, so please focus here, please focus here, this is very very important. Okay, HTTP, right? Or S is means secure. Okay, you will add HTTP or S, like, no, and colon slash, right? So now some domain name you will add, right? Domain name, then request or resource path. Okay, resource path. Then you will add your parameter, param. Okay, parameter. So what do you mean by parameter? Okay, how many types of parameters we have? So we will see. So basically this is my URL, right? So HTTP or HTTPS, it is a protocol. Okay, it is a protocol. Okay, protocol. Okay, it is a protocol. Then domain name, right? Domain name. Then resource path, right? Resource path. Then parameter, right? You are passing parameter. So these are all details you are passing. So now this domain, yesterday, okay, yesterday not last, in the last session, if you remember, domain name, for example, you want to get into your mset, okay, mset portal. So the mset portal name is domain name. So you want to log in into Facebook, that Facebook is nothing but your domain, right? For example, if you want to enter into WhatsApp, okay, that domain is WhatsApp. So now this is your WhatsApp, okay, WhatsApp or whatever may be the where it is hosted, okay, in a particular port it will hosted, right? In a particular server it is going to be host. That host name is nothing but a domain name. And resource path means where exactly it is hosted. And what a parameter is nothing but what are the result you want to get. According to that you will pass some parameter, right? You will pass some uh, parameter. According to that you will get a some result. So now so where we can get this domain name, and where we will get this resource path, and how where we can pass this parameter, we can see. So basically parameter, okay, parameter are three types. Just give me a second. Hello. Hello. Sorry guys. So now what we are discussing, parameters. Okay, these parameters can be passed three ways. Okay, we can pass the parameters three ways. One is query parameter, and the second one is query param parameter. Okay, parameter. And third one is body. Okay, the third one is body. So now how we can pass these parameters, now we can see. For example, okay, so now this request, okay, or base url, we will call it as a base url. Okay, base url. So from where we can get, okay, from where we can get, that is now we can see. So now, okay, so now come here, say okay, so go to the manage atom management, and click on atom management. Hmm, what happened to my system today? It's just taking a lot of time. Let me save it. Okay, now get into manage atom management. Say yes. Now this is the atom, right, which we are working. Now come to the shared web services. Shared web server. Click on shared web server. So now you can see here. Okay, you can see here we have a three types, like basically advanced is going to be clicked on the API gateways. So I will go with intermediate. API type should be intermediate, and this is my port. Okay, this is my port, and this is my base URL. You can see this is my base URL. Okay, base URL. Now say click on save that, copy that. Okay, and see, so till here we got that, right? Till here we got the base here. Now we need to add the resource path. Resource path or resource here. So from where we can get this resource here? From where we can get this resource here? Okay, now come to build. Come to build. So now click on the make a changes. Okay, action should be listen. Okay, every time the action should be listen. Okay, click on operations, create an operation here. So now you can see this is my simple URL and a soap URL path. Okay, operation type. So we are getting some request, right? We are getting some request and we are passing that request to the database. From database we are getting some response, right? So now here object should be employee data, whatever the object you want to create. Now we are getting the employee data, right? Employee data or employee details. Okay, employee data, it is a custom. Okay, what according to your request you can pass. Now you can see here, you can see web service simple. Web service ws means web services. Okay, web services simple, get employee data, then expected input type. Okay, expected input type means, okay, if you are passing any input, okay, if you want to pass any input according to that request, if you want to get, you can get. So basically let's say if you are passing parameter, query parameter or parameter, we will pass some, okay, parameters. Okay, we will pass some parameters. According to that we will get that. Okay, according to that we will get the data. So now, so this query parameter will get we will pass like something like that. Okay, question mark, question mark. And if you, for example, you want to pass ID as a request, according to ID, this ID you will get all these details. Okay, this is your parameter. Let's say employee ID is your parameter. So now you can pass like this, emp id is equals to 10. We are passing 10 as a parameter. So then it is a query parameter. So now, like if you want to pass a parameter, like you could directly you can pass the value. Directly if you can pass the value, then it is saying as a, it's said to be parameter. Let's say no, I want to pass a body means, so like either you want to pass format of data or JSON format of data. So for example, let's say expected input, either you want to pass single data or single data XML object, or multi XML object, single JSON. Okay, so now if I want to pass, okay, if I want to pass, I'm putting none for now. So now if you want to pass a body, what you will do in the body, you will pass some XML data, right? emp id, right? ID is some 10 or 101. I can say 101, right? It is a 101. We are all talking about. So 101, right? And emp id, right? emp id, like that you will pass some body, either XML format of the body or JSON format. So then according to that your request parameter, you will get a data, right? You will get a response. So now let's say first we will see the query parameter, how we can pass the query parameter and parameter, we will see. So now this is my employee ID, right? Okay, what I will do then, from where we can get this resource URL, resource path. Okay, so this is my resource path. This is my resource path. Copy this resource path. Okay, come back and paste it here. Okay, this is your resource path. Okay, now we are passing the data in the query parameter, right? Query parameter, how we can pass? Put a slash, question mark, and emp id is equals to question mark or 10. Okay, 101, like that we can pass the parameter, right? This is your complete URL. So now come here. Okay, come here. So now we are response. Okay, so now you are passing some parameter, right? 101 is your parameter. So according to that you need to get the some response, right? Like name is salary and employee ID, right? So let's say I want some response. Okay, my response should be like emp id, right? Emp id, employee id is 101, right? Emp id. Okay, so now employee, my root element is employee. Okay, employee. Under that I need go the details like employee id. Okay, salary, or else salary. Okay, some, I need some data like 1 lakh. Okay, let's say 1 lakh my salary. Now name. Okay, I need his name. Okay, let's say some Pawan. His name is Pawan. Okay, these details I need. These details I need. Okay, employee ID, salary, and name. These are all details I need as a response. Okay, for example, now what you will do? Salary, right? So now employee copy this. This is my response. I need as a response this profile in the XML format, right? So what I will do, I will come back here. See, input is none and expected output. Expected output I am putting as a single XML object. Okay. Now let me create a XML manually. Okay. So now add a multiple child elements, some 5. Okay. emp id and name and location. I need location and salary, right? All salary. I need salary. Then okay, then okay, some salary and designation. Designation. These are all details I need as a response. Okay, so now save and close. Say save and close. Now you can see here. This is a resource URL. We are passing, and we are getting some response. Okay. So now so we are getting data, right? Now we need to get the data response from the database. Yes or no? Database. So before, let me take a database connector. Okay, now I will create a connection here. Already database connection is there, and we are getting the data from the database, right? Okay, let me create a database operation and select the table. Okay, select the table. This is a schema. You can give XC schema filter. Okay, XC. What is our table name? API EMP data, right? This is my table name. Okay. Now select the all the. Now see, select employee ID, employee data, location, where. So now we need to pass the parameter, right? So because see, according to parameter, like according to the employee ID, we will get the complete details, right? So now we need to add the where, right? Where emp id is equals to question mark. Okay, this question mark should be parameter, right? Come here, add a parameter, right? This is my emp id. I'm passing the employee id. Okay, now save and close, right? Save and close. Now save and close. Now say okay. So now we are getting, and focus here. Now we need to pass the parameter, right? We need to pass the parameter. So whenever you are passing any parameter, okay, whenever you are passing any parameter, dynamically you need to pass, right? If you want to pass, if you know the 101, statically you can pass, but it should be a dynamic, right? So and very important note here, very important note, the parameters. Okay, whenever you are passing the parameters, note point, you should pass in the dynamic process okay, so you should pass the parameter part should be pass by pass with the DPPs. Okay, dynamic document sorry, dynamic process property. Okay, so by using DPP we need to pass, and it should be like a what are the parameter type you are using, whether you are using query parameter or param parameter, you should pass like this. Okay, query underscore the value. Okay, what are the value you are passing, that value, or else if you are passing any param parameter, then param underscore the value you need to pass. Value means what is a parameter. Okay, now we are passing the employee ID as a parameter, the values it should be passed like this. Okay, so now you should be pass query underscore or param underscore. So now we can see, come here. So now come to the dynamic process property, and query is my parameter underscore emp id my parameter, right? I'm passing the emp error. So now say okay. Now, so now we are getting the data in the database format, but here if you see here, it is expecting the response. Okay, it is expecting the response in the which format? XML format, right? That whoever request is creating, whoever the generating the request, he is expecting the response in the XML format, but we are getting in the format, we are getting in the database format, right? We are getting data in the database format. So now we need to convert the data, right, from database to XML. So now click on, come here, create a database. Okay, now come here. Okay, sorry, we need to select the new database profile, say okay. So now you can see, now choose the XML, right? So response profile, this is a response profile which we created, right? Employee ID, name, location, salary, designation. So now say oh, right? So what I will do, name to name, right? And employee ID to employee ID, and the location to location I will pass. As of now, this details I will pass. Then now, so now here we are getting the response, right? We are getting the response. This response should go back to the request. Okay, so which shape we can use if you want to send any response back to the request? Which shape we can use? Return document shape, right? Return document shape should be used, right? So say connect. Okay, clear till here? Till here, anyone have any questions or any doubts?
Yes, clear.
Okay, if it is clear, so now we will see how we can test it out, so basically the listener process we cannot test in the test mode directly. You can see here, if it is test, so Boomi does not currently support the direct testing of listener process. So what we need to do, we need to create the package, and we need to deploy this process. We need to create a package and we need to deploy the process. So how we can deploy and how we can test it, we can see. So now to test it, to do the testing, this listener process, either we need to use the third party testing tools like Postman. Okay, Postman or Soap UI. Okay, we have Soap UIs and Postman. These are all the testing tools we need to use. Okay, how we can use them and how we can test it and how we need to get these details, we'll see. Okay, so now again here we have some restrictions. Okay, for example, so I am the end user. Okay, I'm giving some response back to you. Okay, you are the end user, I'm giving response back to you, but I will not give the response to everyone, right? I need some authentication, right? I need some authentications, like sir, for example, Infosys there, or IBM, and in some XYZ companies there. So I want to give you the result, okay, response for only for Infosys and IBM. I don't want to give the response to the I don't want to give the response to the XYZ company. Then I need to give some restrictions, right? I need to put some restrictions and I need to add some authentication, right? So for that, from where we need to give that restrictions and where we can add those users, okay, we'll see. Okay, now save. So go to user management, you can add the users here. You can add the users here. Okay, for example, you want to give the response to only for Infosys, you can add the user, Infosys user. Okay, if you want to give the only is no response back to the IBM, then you can add the response user for the IBM. So like that you can add the users. For every user you can generate a one token. It's a kind of password. Okay, it's a kind of password. How we can generate them, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Till here, anyone have any questions or any doubts? Till here, anyone have any questions or any doubts? Yes. If not, we can wind up the session here and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, bro.
Okay then. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for